Salim, we talked about DAOs a little bit, and we're talking about Web3. Web3 and DAOs are related. The concept of the exponential organization. How would you relate the concept of the exponential organization to a DAO in a Web3 world?
Well, if you look at a spectrum of old style organizations at one extreme being top-down hierarchical command and control pyramid structures designed for efficiency, designed for predictability, right? This is essentially the classic coming from a military model. Then you move to agile scrum type models and kind of people being operating self-managing systems driven by OKRs, et cetera. And you go to the full extent of that, you have basically DAOs running on a Web3 platform where all the interfaces, HR is essentially automated completely, okay? In this model. And everything is a self-provisioning aspect. So somebody comes along, can basically tick a few boxes and join that DAO. You don't need a human being involved. Everything's done automatically. That spectrum, we've been moving down that spectrum over the last 20 years. The birthplace of what we call EXOs was probably Amazon Web Services, because now you can take computing off the balance sheet and make it truly variable cost. And little by little, we've been automating aspects of this. This completely threatens the existing hegemony. This is what is incredibly powerful. Like as Eric talks about marketing, you ride around the Web 2, Facebook, Apple, Google kind of marketing structures, and everybody can own their own. And the marketers, a brand can have its direct relationship via an NFT to the end user. They don't have to go through one of these other filters, which are extracting huge ad networks, et cetera, that are extracting huge value for very little, just because they happen to be the aggregator of it. And so this kind of completely changes the game. You take that to the full level, essentially there'll be more and more organizations will be operating on this new model over time, because it's just more adaptable for the world. And you can have infinite variety. You can change smart contracts that apply to a large group of people very quickly. And essentially you can adapt in a real-time basis to a new reality of how the world is changing, especially as our old industries kind of start to collapse. You look at the old rigidity of, you look at an old newspaper stock page, and you see transportation stocks and utility stocks and retail stocks and logistics stocks. Well, Uber covers like 6 of those, right? So what is it? And so now you have this completely new type of animal that can explore and go back into these old models, but you can't go from A to B. You have to essentially evolve into this new thing. So this is why people have such difficulty. When we wrote EXO and we came up with the model, it was incredibly hard to tell the car industry that Tesla's going to eat your lunch. They basically go, look at that thing. That's like, and even if it's successful, you can't scale it. It doesn't know how to mass manufacture cars, et cetera, et cetera. Well, those are all kind of commodities. And the fundamental reality that a combustion engine car has like 2,000 moving parts in the drivetrain, and a Tesla has 17, is just insane. Right. And I'll give you a little stat that I came across this last week as we were finalizing the research and so on for the book. In 2002, the BMW M5 was the fastest production sedan ever created. Okay, 2002. Roll forward 20 years. They did a speed test with a Tesla Plaid and a BMW M5, a quarter-mile speed test. Except the M5 was coming at 70 miles an hour, and then the Tesla started. Okay. So it's got it already moving at 70 miles an hour, and the Tesla beat it in a quarter mile, and beat it hands down, right?
Yeah.
They kind of compared it to the Lucid, which I'm going off tangent here, but just to give you the sense of the scale of the difference, is one of the Lucid Dream cars delivers 8 times the power at 3 times less electricity, or power, 8 times more performance at 3 times less power needed to generate that performance. So it's a 24x performance improvement over that BMW from 20 years ago. That's just a staggering number. And when I think of Web3 and this NFT world and Vadim and some of the work that's going on, essentially is delivering for marketers that 20x performance compared to the old way. And that's
what's funny.
A visual for that.
What's funny, Salim, is we still measure that in horsepower.
I know.
Really?
Yeah.
How many horses is that? Do the math on that.
And I just want to throw out one other a little one, which is the Vega. Okay, this is a 900 horsepower electric car. Looks like a Lamborghini. It's the third fastest car in the history of cars. It's being designed, engineered, manufactured, built in Sri Lanka. That hotbed of automotive engineering. I love showing this to car executives, because like they can't digest it. They can't grok it that this is possible. The democratization now makes it possible that anybody anywhere in the world can do something radically disruptive with the right mindset, with the right tools. And I think that's what's incredibly exciting about what's happening in the world today.
All right. Well, I love that you love doing that to executives, Salim. That's one of the things I love about
you. It's like our job,
it's just
right?
fun, right? It's like
you got to break the old for the new to
who can I
yes.
Who can I freak out today?